Hello everyone, it's James from Living Gardens Homestead. Come to you today. I'm going to talk a little bit more and try to clarify what I was talking about on the pole shift of our magnetic poles. Now, you got scientists out there, and if I want to believe a red apple tastes better than a golden delicious apple, then you got scientists with different beliefs here and different beliefs there, and you ask one, they're going to say the red apple. You ask the other, they're going to say the golden apple, golden delicious. But a true scientist wants to find out what the truth is, not what he wants to believe. It's nice if you figured out something and you do your experiments and it turns out that what you believed was correct. But you've got a lot of people who call themselves scientists that go on their own beliefs, and they will seek out other scientists that believe the same way they do. So what I want to let you know is I want to believe the truth, no matter what it might be. I would hope that I'm right, but I accept when I'm wrong. But the sad part is you've got people out there that aren't even scientists that are using scientists to get what they want done. And they talk a lot about the weather changing and temperatures changing and the glaciers melting, and they'll talk about all this, and they'll try to make you believe it's what they're saying it is. Well, we can't change it unless we take the truth and see what is really doing it. And then sometimes you find out it's not you, it's not the people, it's just nature itself. It's changing. And I believe with these the pole shift, I believe is a real thing. A lot of scientists believe it is. It happens, and there's proof of it in the soils and stuff when we drill our core samples. And I want to read you a little bit here after I'm through explaining this to you. You've got people who want you to believe what they're wanting you to believe, and it's not necessarily the truth. Maybe there's some truth hidden in there to get you to believe. But let me say, let's go back when we had no science. But let's say for some reason or somehow, I knew we were going to have an eclipse where the sun or the moon is going to come around and block the sun and cause it to darken here on Earth. What if I knew that somehow and everybody else around didn't know anything about it? Okay? And I wanted to gain something from this. Everybody pay me $100 or the sun's going to go out. The sun's going to go out. I'm telling you, it's going to happen if you don't pay me $100. Well, people ain't going to believe that. But the day that eclipse comes and you start seeing it getting darker, people are going to start flocking to you to give you $100. Oh, it's going to go dark, right? I used knowledge that I had for my own personal gain when I do that. And I think that's what's going on right now. I think there's people who are saying the climate's changing because of the CO2 we're putting in the air. I'm sorry. I'm a scientist at heart, but I love the Lord first. And, the two will go together if you want to put them together and quit trying to believe something that's not true. God created CO2 for these plants to grow. Many people have grow rooms, and they're growing plants in them, whether it be in soil or hydroponics, however they do that. And they've got in them grow rooms containers with CO2 in it, and they'll somehow turn that CO2 loose into the room for those plants to thrive. So yes, plants love CO2. I'm not saying too much of anything's good. No, sometimes too much of something is a bad thing. But I just want you to realize what scientists are finding about the climate, and how some people may be manipulating this stuff because they know it's going to happen to make us believe that something else is causing it so that they can gain from it. Now, I don't believe you should gain from knowledge. I think knowledge should be a free thing. I think everybody should be, if they want it, should freely be given knowledge. And anyway, I'm going to read you this article, and I hope it explains a lot that I had in my other video. It's from Cosmos, and it's a magnetic reversal caused by massive climate shifts. Scientists link most recent magnetic instability to global environmental change. About 42,000 years ago, a reversal of the Earth's magnetic poles triggered massive climate shifts and caused environmental changes to sweep across the globe, according to new Australian-led research. Scientists have long known that the planet's magnetic field periodically flips, with the north and south poles switching places. The last known reversal, which was temporary and technically known as the Champs excursion, occurred 41,000 to 42,000 years ago. If such an event happened today, it would wreak havoc on satellites and electrical grids, but its environmental impact is less well understood. This new study, published in Science, suggests that the Champs excursion coincides with significant environmental and ecological changes, including ice sheets, mass extinctions, and even the rise of cave art. To learn this, the researchers built a precisely dated atmospheric radiocarbon record using the tree rings of massive subfossil New Zealand kauri trees that are alive during this period. Not only did the trees record changes in radiocarbon levels during the pole reversal, but the growth rings also acted as a natural timestamp. For the first time ever, we have been able to precisely date the timing and environmental impacts of the last magnetic pole switch, says Chris Turney, co-lead author of the study from the University of New South Wales. Using the ancient trees, we could measure and date the spike in atmospheric radiocarbon levels caused by the collapse of Earth's magnetic field. This allowed the researchers to build a detailed timeline of how Earth's atmosphere changed, showing there was a significant increase of radiocarbon during the Champs excursion. They compared this with other records of environmental changes from caves, ice cores, and peat bogs, and then incorporated it into global climate models to look at the environmental impacts. Most previous research had focused on what happened during the reversal, when the magnetic field was reduced to 28% of its current strength, but this study reveals the most dramatic impacts occurred into the lead-up to the reversal, when the field dropped to 0 to 6% of its current strength. We especially had no magnetic field at all. Our cosmic radiation shield was totally gone, Turney explains. This left the planet vulnerable to solar flares and cosmic rays. Unfiltered radiation from space ripped apart air particles in Earth's atmosphere, separating electrons and emitting light, a process called ionization, Turney explains. The ionized air fried the ozone layer, triggering a ripple of climate change across the globe. The team posts that the magnetic reversal and subsequent radiation exposure may be linked to the growth of ice sheets and glaciers across North America at that time, as well as shifts in major wind belts and tropical storms. Several other major events also occurred around 42,000 years ago, including the disappearance of Australian megafauna and an extinction of the Neanderthals. Both could be linked to these widespread environmental changes, perhaps partly due to an inability to adapt. The timing also coincides with the appearances of figurative cave art. The researchers suggest that increased UV radiation from a weak magnetic field may have driven humans to seek more shelter, and may even explain the use of red ochre as early sunscreen. The lead up to the Leschamps excursion, the authors write in their paper, appears to represent a major climatic, environmental, and archaeological boundary that has previously gone largely unrecognized. According to the Agatha Lies Pronovost, a paleomagnetic geologist at the University of Melbourne who was not involved in the study, this new research is fascinating because a hypothetical link between the magnetic field and climate is a long-standing question. Much of the discussion in the literature has been speculating what processes may possibly link events that happened at about the same time, she explains. It remains largely unclear if and how the magnetic field of our planet, which is generated in the outer core, may impact what is happening at the surface. This study, she says, is the first of its kind to bring together new quality data and an original modeling approach. It may help provide a framework to study the potential environmental and evolutionary shifts during the last full magnetic reversal, 780,000 years ago, and could help us understand the implications of a future reversal. Over the past 170 years, the Earth's magnetic field has weakened by around 9%, leading scientists to speculate that a reversal might be imminent. Increased exposure to solar storms and other cosmic radiation could be devastating to our satellites and electrical infrastructure, and Turney warns it could be devastating to the climate too. Our atmosphere is already filled with, we get this radiation stuff from our sun and everything coming in. This magnetic field around the Earth helps to shield us from all that. According to them, and nobody was there when the magnetic shifts happened, but they're speculating that when it does happen, the field around Earth weakens. And when it weakens, then you get more of the radiation from the sun. People, I think the climate change that we're having, that's going on today, is not caused by one thing. I mean, it's multiple things together causing this. And a lot of these things is nature itself. And we cannot change nature. We cannot change the way God designed all this. And it's happening, and I know a lot of you are Christians out there. And if you read Revelations, at what all is going to happen, God designed this earth. He knew when the flip was going to be. He knew when solar flares was going to come from the sun. He knew all this stuff. And I think we could be living in the last days. And God's design is coming together now. And but you've got people out there telling it's this, and we the humans are causing this. No, I don't think so. We may contribute some CO2 to the atmosphere, but think about something. Those volcanoes we're seeing going off right now, all these earthquakes we're seeing going off right now, could be due to this change in our magnetism within the earth, and it's weakening, so therefore you get solar flares and stuff coming in to the earth. We're getting more of it, and I think these volcanoes, when they come up, I don't know how much CO2 they put in the atmosphere. I don't know how much of the other things they put in the atmosphere, but I do know they cause, when they go up high enough, it gets into our atmosphere and it stays there for years, which is like a shade cloth over a greenhouse. You don't want so much sun coming in, you put a shade cloth up there to block some of that sun. Well, that's what these volcanoes are doing. They're putting it into our atmosphere and they're helping to block. They're also adding CO2. How can we turn volcanoes off? We can't. It's out of our control. This is nature doing all this. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. And, you know, they say there is, and they're getting all this money for this and money for that. I'm just wondering if they're the people that knows there's going to be an eclipse, but we don't, and they're using that eclipse to take from us. I think that's what's happening. And they're protecting themselves because, you know, if the environment gets that bad, it's going to be hard. And they're looking out for themselves. But I thought I would just read you this article and let you know what's going on. There's also another place, I think it's in the South Atlantic, around the South Atlantic Ocean, that our field is really low right now to where the rays can really come in. So that could affect the waters, and that could be affecting the La Nina. That could be what's causing that. You know, these things is out of our control. But I want you all to know about this. And scientists are divided on when the flip's going to happen. Some say it's not close. Some say it's imminent. It's going to happen anytime. I don't know. I ain't got the answers, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing from science. But anyway, this is James. If you like our channel, please subscribe to our channel. Now, we've got things on our channel for different people. We've got hydroponics. We've got gardening. We're trying to add and build the channel up. But we need you all to subscribe, and this is one of the things that we do because I've got some background in science. I like to get it out. But anyway, if you all like our channel, please give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. And thank you very much for watching this. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much. This is James from Living Gardens Homestead.